Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before I forget about it, please like, subscribe, share if you would. In this episode, we're going to tell you about the updates to the front suspension that we've done. And so we've got upper control arm adapter piece that's made now, a new updated version. We've got the lower control arm updated version. And we're just waiting on a couple of pieces for the actual lower control arm itself. And then we're going to be welding up our own lower control arm. Alright, let's get over the bench. We'll show you what's going on. Alright guys, we're back over to the table now. Alright, so the first thing we're going to show you is we have an updated lower control arm plate. So like we showed last time, this plate is for our ball joint, holds in our ball joint in the lower control arm. And this piece is the older one, and the newer updated one, if you look, is about a 1/4 inch shorter. So if you slide this one next to it, you see it's a little bit about a 1/4 inch shorter. That's going to pull the camber in a little bit lower on the bottom. So we're going to be making up a new one of these today. So our mock-up one that we've done before is sitting over here. And this is going to obviously make us another one of these. And then for the center part here where we use 2 bushings, I now have a piece that's going to be a 10mm inside diameter piece of steel that I got. That way it's going to be one solid piece as we make that part. Next update we have is for the upper control arm adapter. If you look, the offset of the two is quite a bit different, and that's going to pull the camber out and make it less camber on the top. It's going to move it out towards the outer part of the wheel well just a little bit. It's about by a 1/4 inch on the lower, or on the upper adapter as well. So 1/4 inch on the lower, 1/4 inch on the upper, and we should have the room that we were needing to move out of the way of the control arm a little bit on the left side and a little bit on the right side as you go all the way through the movement of the wheel. Yeah, and then we're going to move it over to the lower control arm. So as you can tell, we've got our bushings in that we're going to be using for the lower control arm, and I've got a plate that I made up, and this is for the piece here that will replicate what you see on the lower control arm. This is what I made for a mock-up so I could make measurements off it and make sure it was correct. So I've got this piece designed up, and yeah, it's being built or cut at this point in time and then being shipped. Hopefully it will be here next week. Really, you know, things like I said are moving slow as far as shipping and lead times and some things, but anyways, everything that I've got cut from these guys at OSH Cut is has been really on the money, so I'm real happy with it. So the weight kind of sucks, and it really does suck. However, as long as the parts are right on, you know, the amount of money you're spending is not a lot, and you know, the parts are good quality, so I'm fine with waiting a little bit. And then I've got a M10 by 125, a couple of threaded cylinders that I have coming that are going to mimic this part. Then yeah, the rest of the lower control arm is going to be tubular. So we're going to have a rod that's bent that comes up to this part, one that comes over here. There's going to be one that sticks out that's just a stubby here, and then another one that comes up to here, and then they'll be going between there. So that, yeah, it's going to be a great time. The, you know, good old tubing roller over here, just an old-fashioned hand tubing roller, is what's going to help me roll up the 1.25 inch tube that I'm going to use for the control arms. And as soon as we get that in, the front is really going to be completely done. Yeah, so anyways, let's go and get on to welding up and cleaning up our new pieces that we got for the upper control arm adapter and the lower control arm adapter. So let's get to that. I'm going to get you set up here in a little bit different spot. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. So let's go ahead and get these parts cleaned up, get them tacked up and welded together, and yeah, then we'll go ahead and get them put on the car. Alright guys, there's piece number 1. Tack welded together. A little more than tack welded, but it's together. Let's go ahead and put together piece number 2 here real quick, and then we'll go over to the car and see what they're like. And there you have it guys, second piece, all tack welded together. So we will go ahead and let these two cool down for just a second and go get things set up at the car. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. We're over here at the car again. I've already got the lower control arm slid into place. Let's go ahead and get the upper control arm adapter bolted up, and then slide the spindle and the rotor set up on and see how good Alright, there it is, bolted back together. Now see what we got as far as camber here, and I know we should be much closer, and there it is. That is definitely in the range that we want to be in. When you look down the car, it's a little better. Give me 1 minute. We're going to grab one of the wheels. I'll be right back. Alright. Put one of the wheels on, and then see. Alright, now it'll be a little bit easier for you to see. And there it is. You're looking down. Nice little bit of camber. It's going to be perfect, I think, at this point in time. So, let's go ahead and talk about what is going to be the next part. So, at this point in time, the front suspension, other than putting together and welding together the actual lower control arm, I'm going to do 2, 1 for each side. The next step in the process for us is going to be starting on the rear suspension. So I actually may have found a very good deal on about 3/4 of the rear suspension pieces that we're going to need. I've got the upper control arms, the spindle hubs, and a couple of the other pieces that'll leave me with needing to get the lower control arms, which I just might make myself, and then brakes and rotors, which is something I was going to upgrade anyway. So that deal's not set in stone yet, so we may still go ahead and use what I was debating on putting on the back anyways. But if I can get the great deal that this is, we're going to go ahead and use most of the factory stuff, and then we'll build a couple of pieces that we need. Yeah, so front is just about done. Like I said, we're waiting on the control arm pieces. Hopefully now the holidays are over. Hopefully you all had a great holiday. Yeah, hopefully now that they're all over, we're going to be able to move and progress a little bit quicker through the waiting on the parts, side of things. So yeah, anyways, like, subscribe, share, guys. Hopefully, that keeps you updated on where we're at, just waiting on stuff. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one.